This is Song of Wata, illustrated, written, and narrated by Nakia Shade, with original music composed by Tawny Marie Edwards, a serialized web drama and Masala fiction published by Girl Masala Studios Incorporated. Chapter 2: Moonstone in Chains. The conservatory's warmth dies behind sealed doors. Here, in what once was Niambe's sanctuary, the Carrier Public Library has been rebuilt. Marble floors polished to mirror brightness, and mahogany podiums gleaming under harsh LED spotlights. The smell of old paper and honor has been scrubbed away, replaced by the sterile scent of antiseptic and ambition. In the makeshift holding area, where a conference room once stood for Arts Council meetings with Carrion ambassadors and dignitaries, Niambe sits shackled to a middle chair. Ambassador Delphine paces before her, red caftan sweeping across the polished floor like spilled blood. Her moonstone serpent cane taps rhythmically against the marble. Each strike a countdown to the auction. You're an adult. I can't carry you and Sela. I've done everything laws asked me to in raising you like my own daughters. You're selling us both? There's no guarantee we'll be together. Not both. Only you today. Sela has different arrangements. Why are you doing this? Mom would be so disappointed in you. Well, she abandoned you and your sister to serve her own people. At least I'm fulfilling my duty to my family. The truth lands like a slap. Dizziness assaults Nyambe's balance. The chains keep her anchored to the chair as her stomach clenches with dread. Her lips tremble and pearls fall from her tears. The last fish hawking I did in the market, some of the vendors were worried about Bob. Last month, he was barely eating. This month, he doesn't say much of anything. Just sits in the hospital room staring at the ocean. He was a ghost of himself ever since Mom disappeared. And it scared Niambe. She recalls the chocolate hazelnut tarts she'd purchased for the foster kids, buying an extra box for him when she visited, but he refused to eat. I spoke with him yesterday. If you'd like to hear what he has to say, then listen well. Delphine reaches into her caftan pocket and produces a small recording device. Her thumb hovers over the play button with practiced cruelty. The device crackles to life, and Ronnie wheezes softly as Abu Bakar's voice emerges, enervated and tired. Dealing with the girls must be so challenging for you, Delphine. Allah bless you for all you're doing. You're my little brother. I care deeply for you, Abu. I'm grateful the girls are being cared for. I'm sorry. I can't protect my girls. Not like this. Not anymore. I'm glad they're safe. The recording cuts off mid-breath. Safe? Chained to a chair to be sold to the highest bidder and Sela shipped off to a private Muslim academy? Was this the safety he had in mind for them? Nyambe's heart shattered. Not because it's a lie, but because it's true. Her father's relief bleeds through every word, and she knows his grief brought them to this. He tried his best to raise them since Mom disappeared. Did the best he could, but it wasn't enough. Ronnie bunts her head against Nyambe's cheek, the wheezing softening to a rhythmic hiss. Abu Bakar always feared this day would come, even as he tried to prepare them. He taught her and Sela to fish, to negotiate, to survive, but in the end, he couldn't protect them. SubhanAllah, even Sela's deformities. Captain Barbarossa is willing to overlook them for a price. The name punches Nyambe's gut. Captain Barbarossa, the pirate who carries more than cargo across the Black Seas. The man who turned the seas black. Baba used to take them to the Parveen house, where he and Mom would perform halakha and sing duas each year to ask Queen Ino for help and the Mami Wata for fish in the Columbia River. Nickel and black gold factories drowned generations of other fishing families, making the Bard's fish hatchery the last in Cascadia. New immigrants propped up their gods, loud and jealous, fearful of losing them, fearful too of the Mami Wata. Few in Kauri still prayed to the water spirits, not like before. And where faith had spread thin and brittle, so had protection. Nyambe's mind leaps to the posters she saw in the red light district, where many of the sold Mami Wata lived. She carried on Yamaya's nonprofit, her duty to ensure all Mami Wata had equal rights. But thanks to Delphine's current administration, the Mami Wata were suffering. The Mami Wata advertised surrogacy services, escorts and sex workers, a plaything for human stark desires. If the law were merciful, she'd be bit on by one of them. Each cuff bit into her wrists and ankles like tally marks of failure. Sela, Baba, her mother's promise, all broken. So, a fate worse than death was appropriate, to be used in perfumes, hair growth serums, sexual dysfunction medications, birth control, and fertility drugs. Shaking, crying, and heaving, Niambe cries diamonds and pearls, the Song of Wata welling with her tears. Was Kaori even worth protecting if she couldn't be as protected, loved, and powerful as Yamaya? She really was useless as a Mami Wata. Ronnie squeezes herself around Niambe's shoulder, her cool tongue flicking at her neck, a way to calm her nervous system. Why are you crying? Be grateful you are my nieces. A long time ago, the Mami Wata were revered, feared, untouchable. Now, pretty useless things with so much value. Learn the rules of the game, Nini, because niceness won't save you here. Yambe strains against her chains, wanting to stand up for herself, for Sela. But the nickel binds her as surely as her own helplessness. She can't defend anyone, much less herself. Delphine stops, her eyes narrowing, voice dropping like stone. All of this, your father's grief, his endless sorrow, it's all because of Yamaya and the chaos you two bring. If it weren't for you, he'd be whole again. Nyambe's chains rattle as she leans forward. Sela won't survive without me. Nini, focus on yourself. You're about to be sold to the wealthiest investors in Cary. For the sake of your future, choose your bidder wisely. How am I supposed to do that? Delphine pauses by a mirror, adjusting the folds on her hijab. Ya Allah. When suitors visited your cousins, you were never allowed as part of the meetings of families, always stealing the attention away. Despite your beauty and youth, you never sought a suitor, too busy caring for your father and sister. You know, Allah looks down on favoritisms in family, yet you two were always his favorites. Delphine adjusts the brooch on her hijab, her reflection sharp and unforgiving. She catches Nyambe's eye, cold, calculating. My little brother, abandoning his family, his flesh and blood, for the sea shaitan's spawn. You, with your serpent eyes and that voice, your mother's voice. Nyambe holds her breath, then trembles. Delphine smiles tightly, fixing the brooch as if fitting her words in place. So, how do I figure it out? Delphine's voice cuts like a whip. The auction begins in 3 hours. Use whatever gifts the law gave you, because after tonight, they belong to someone else. She heads for the door. Fee Amani Law. Beyond the doors, Niambe hears the hum of bidders gathering, their rich laughter mixing with the clink of glasses, wages already passing about whose bid would capture the rare Mami Wata. To them, tonight was not a tragedy, it was commerce. The door closes with a final click, leaving Niambe alone with her chains and the weight of impossible choices. Her sanctuary had become her detaining cell. Niambe hums the fisherman's tale, its melody stirring even as hopelessness crashes over her. From outside, the same song rises, Sela's voice, joined by other Mami Wata. Even in chains, even apart, their stories refuse to be silenced, rising together like the tides. Ronnie shifts restlessly and punts her head at Niambe's cheek, her emerald scales dulled under the dim lights. The serpent's small body trembles, not from cold, but from the weight of helplessness that mirrors her companion's despair. For all her ancient wisdom, all the protective coiling around Niambe's arms, Ronnie cannot stop this, cannot shield Niambe from what's coming.